I just got the notice, man. Wells Fargo is going to be closing down all its banks in the U.S. come June. So if you got a Wells Fargo account, man, I suggest you close your account because all Wells Fargos in USA will be closing down. Sorry, Wells Fargo customers. This news just came to me, and I'm giving it to you. So yeah, if you got a Wells Fargo bank account, I suggest you close your account right now, baby.
Already. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
I'm going to start by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. I read the brothers from down Tempe, Florida, from the camp prophets of Babylon. Come on, the quick hit to the smear part by YAHAWASHI. Lord wanted to edify and feed the sheep. Double honor said I was an apostle of MILLSTONE, teaching well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who pushing this work in true sincerity. To the scattered abroad. And, this is another, in transit, all right, through the spirit, man. Okay. Going into this topic of the night. All right, going into how Wells Fargo, okay, is starting to close all their branches, okay, in a certain period of time, all right, all across the U.S., okay, which the brother going to grab a little bit more information going into it, but we're going to bring it out in the spirit, all right, to, tie it up with these scriptures, man, because, everything that's here is eventually going to start to crumble more and more day by day, all right, and it's going to get worse here, especially for you, individuals that's, counting on this system, all right, trusting in Esau, even the so-called white man, okay, and the things that he have built it, all right. So you go ahead, got it.
All right, this is AI overview. It says Wells Fargo plans to close 49 bank branches in 2025. This is part of a broader trend of banks closing physical locations as customers increasingly rely on digital banking.
Right, which you have it where a lot of these banks are getting in the mindset of closing these branches for a reason, all right, because they're, as you said, preparing for a newer system, which is a part of that digital system, okay, bringing it towards that NWO, all right, but they have a way of doing it through gradualism, and they have to cut off these branches that are stationed in other states, you see. So bring it back again.
It says Wells Fargo plans to close 49 bank branches in 2025.
And Wells Fargo is a major, bank, just like, TD Banks. All right, you have Chase Banks and Bank of America. And Bank of America has been closing hundreds over the last 5 years of branches, man. Okay, and they even been having system malfunctions, man, which shows you that, they're already getting prepared for, what's to come. You see?
And they ain't warning people. They just closing these locations down and people coming in there looking for their money.
Yeah. Navy Federal, all these banks, man, they all getting conditioned, all right, for what these devils are about to bring. All right.
And it's not because they want to move towards or they're about to upgrade. No, man, it's because the dollar is collapsing. The dollar's about to be done away with. Right. Things are going to be that's a primary reason, primary piece of evidence that they're about to move towards the MOTB.
Exactly.
Okay, digital banking, CBDC, central bank digital currency. All these things are going to take place. Why do you think these banks are closing down? They didn't close them down for no reason, man. That just goes to show you that this is really happening.
Right.
Whether you believe it or not. It says, this is part of a broader trend of banks closing physical locations as customers increasingly rely on digital banking.
Right, and they know you rely on these things, man, which we are going to grab it, They know you rely on these things. They know you rely on them to make sure your funds that's in the bank is safe. At this point, knowing how this place is going, it's best you just pull it all out, But, Esau's going to have it where he's going to make you feel like you can trust him and you can keep your money in there. You got millions and millions of people who use these banks, all right, to store their funds that they're bringing in as revenue, man.
Yeah, and they brought these ATMs out to condition you to move towards that digital banking.
Right.
All right. With my bank in particular, they got ATMs and they got interactive tellers where you can talk to people over like the screen.
Smart ATMs.
Yeah, smart ATMs. you talk to people over the screen and they can help you manage your money that way. You know, but now it's going to well, even with Bank of America last year, they had locations that were just all self-serve automated. Okay, nobody in sight. Nobody was in these buildings. You go in these buildings and it's all basically interactive tellers. Okay, smart ATMs.
That's right.
It says several other major banks, including Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Flagstar, are also closing branches this year.
There you go. So they all are part of that trend of what breaking this, you know, system down, all right, by attacking the, you know, the money side of it, okay, the currency side of it. All right, and these people, you know, they count on these banks. All right, when they go to it, when they pull funds out, they count for that money to come out. They count on it. All right, but they're telling you that, hey, this is about to change, okay, rapidly, very soon. You know, so you got it.
It says, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Alright, so you cursed if you're going to trust in another man, right? You expecting them to come through for you, these banks to come through for you. Okay, yeah, they let you store your money, but the reason they let you store your money in there, they made money off of you. Okay, they put interest on your money and made more money off of your money, man. Okay, that's why when these banks shut down and money goes missing, it's because it was never your money. You just gave them free money and now it's theirs.
Right, which they have that saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yep.
You know, I know it's a scripture that touches that for a fact. Can't remember it, but when it comes to me, but it goes into it. Okay, see, Esau is benefiting off of you, and he's benefiting off the poor. You see, and he knows what he's doing, his schemes, all right, his scandals. All right, he knows what he's doing, and ultimately, these banks have been a part of his schemes the whole time. You know.
Yeah. It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly.
Right. If he doeth good, he doing it unwillingly. Why is that? Because what? He has something in store for himself. You know, these devils don't do it just to, you know, do it for a good reason because they got to go hard. Nah, man, they're doing it because it's something that's going to benefit them in the long run. You see, and Esau's all about getting that bag, man, to himself. You know, he's greedy. And if it costs him throwing you in, in a pit or trapping you up along the lines, then he'll do it, as long as he get what he want. You see, so at the end of the day, if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. That's what this whole system is set up like. It's like a hamster wheel. Okay, you just going in a circle, man. Go ahead.
It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness.
So at the last, he will declare his wickedness. And this is the nature of this devil, man. You know, he's always got something hidden behind closed doors to show his true intentions. That's why the scriptures say that they are not to be trusted. Never trust thy enemy, man. All right, you got that? You know, that's what it is. If you trust in these devils wholeheartedly, you just know they got you. You gonna be fooled. Okay, that's gonna be your shame. All right, you gonna be looking crazy out here. Go ahead.
It says in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. So over time, he will show his horns. He will show who he is. That's why he said if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. Because then what? He gonna declare his wickedness. He's not gonna. He can only hide for so long. But if you don't identify and know who this is as your enemy today, as we telling you, then you're gonna be, caught up in his, scandals, man, and his schemes and his traps. Okay. Scripture says, never trust thy enemy, man. For like of iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right. So he can only put on the show for so long, but he will show you his wickedness towards the end. And we're at the end of this devil's rulership, man. Okay. And he's gonna do everything he can to make it seem like everything is all good and dandy, peace and safety, until he realized, he ain't got no choice but to retaliate, to that sword.
Many people still believe to this day that these banks were created to benefit them. Well, really, it was made to benefit these devils.
Right.
Okay, it was made to benefit these Edomites. Okay, the rich. All right, while the poor are oppressed. Okay, so they're gonna continually oppress you until the Lord takes them out of power. We need deliverance. We need salvation. Jake don't understand that, and when they move up to these new digital banks, what you think they're gonna make you have in order to access these digital banks? The MOTB, man.
Right.
Okay, because you trusted in these devils, and it's always gonna lead to that. Like the scriptures say, he that lead unto Egypt shall go into his hand, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Trust in Pharaoh.
Yeah.
It's gonna go into your hand and pierce it. So they're gonna eventually invade your body, man.
Yeah.
Isaiah 30:1 says
that's a part of their. That's a part of their agenda.
Right.
They want to make sure they get you so comfortable to where it's gonna just go ahead and just slide in easily, man. Okay, piercing you without you even noticing it, man. You see, by the time you notice it, it's gonna be too late. You got it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover what they're covering but not of my spirit.
Right, and you got our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, like Jake, who wholeheartedly trust in his system. Okay, without even seeking any kind of counsel, man, from YAHAWASHI. Jake take action in their own hands. They don't want to change. They'll just say, hey, we're gonna listen to what the white man say. That's why the scripture says, woe. Okay, the two rebellious children. Destruction is gonna have to come for you to get the point. Those scourges and amendments is gonna have to be put on your ass because you don't want to listen. All right, which is that correction and punishment.
Yeah, you want to cover yourself up with this devil's benefits and his government assistance and whatever it may be. You want to hide behind the government of Esau Edom, man.
Right.
But you don't want to go to the government of YAHAWASHI, which is what his prophets.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard telling you the instructions how to live, what to do to receive mercy. You don't want to go to the prophets. Okay, the true government of the world. All right, you want to go to these devils and get governed by demons.
Right.
So don't be surprised when these demons turn around and rend your ass, and then you looking crazy trying to run back to the Lord like, help, it's gonna be too late.
Exactly that, and that's the point.
Many people gonna lose life savings because these banks closing down, man.
Right. And what is that gonna leave you looking? You gonna be looking left and right like,
who gonna help me now?
Exactly.
It says that cover what they're covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right. So they're gonna continue to build upon that sin, that iniquity, those transgressions, man. They're gonna continue in it. Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth.
Right. So they'll depend on this system than rather depend on what YAHAWASHI is telling you, man. And that's what's wrong with our people now. Not to get too much far off the topic, but the point is that this is something that easily can be turned from something small to major overnight. Scripture says not to be ignorant of a small thing or great. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Because something like this, you done trusted this devil when it comes to his pharmaceutical. All right, things like that. You done trusted him when it comes to his hospitals, his money. All right, his assistants, Eve. Look at Eve, man. She trusting on this devil. What she got to say in, the government, my baby daddy. And they be proudful to say these things until all hell break loose. Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
And that's gonna be your downfall.
Right.
Because you did that, guess what's going to happen? Go ahead.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
So therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh, which your modern day Pharaoh will be Trump. It was Sleepy Joe, but now it's Trump.
A cruel Lord.
Yeah. He's still ruling over you with rigorness.
Rigor.
With rigor, the water. You see? Just a modern day version of it. You look how they treating the Northern Kingdom. That's because they was happy to go vote for him.
Yeah.
And he turned around, he backstabbed them, man.
Now they're looking crazy. They ashamed. No.
Now they're ashamed.
They wish they can take their vote back.
Exactly. You got it.
And really, shit, it wasn't really your choice in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
So it's going to lead not only to your shame, but your confusion.
Look at dumbfounded.
So you're going to be looking out here looking distraught because you don't know what's going on, and you're going to be confused and wondering where your money check and whatever you just worked hard for, where it's going. Oh, I just put, my last check into this bank and I don't know what's going on, and they telling you, sir, we don't know what to tell you, sir. The system is down.
Right. And who they gonna blame? Trump.
Right.
The same person you voted for. And my dumb ass voted for him. It was a video like that. Jake was coming out saying how they were stupid to vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That was their shame, and then now they looking confused. Like,
now they looking
I
confused.
thought he was gonna make America great again. It's making it worse for us and better for them.
Right.
Stupid.
Still being shown that you in captivity, man.
Yeah.
You still being oppressed. How much and how long is it gonna take? All right, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to see that this devil ain't for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see? You got some more on that?
That was it.
So hey, just it was in the spirit of bringing it out, man, because these are the times we're in. We're gonna see a lot more of this place crumble right before our eyes, man. And we giving you this, warning through the spirit prayer by YAHAWASHI, man. Okay, and Lord willing, those that will hear and take action on it. Okay, take heed, because time is running short.
That's right.
So hey, that's it. We can close it out by giving all glory and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Once again, double honor to those in the apostle, great MILLSTONE, teacher one. Till next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.